We got to talk about Kanye West's comments regarding the 13th Amendment and the crazy fallout that has come as a result. If you have not seen those comments yet, I'll place them on the screen before you. People are really getting triggered about this. They're getting butthurt. They're really in their fifis and their feelings. People all over social media, all over the internets, mainstream, old school media. You have a couple of prominent white liberals like Chris Evans, the guy who played Captain America, and also Lana Del Rey, aka Elizabeth Woolridge Grant. I'm not really sure exactly what she does. Is she a singer, dancer, whatever? But she apparently is a celebrity. They've had very scathing comments on social media about Kanye. Chris Evans had a bunch of word salad. It was just a way for him to become or feel like he was superior intellectually to Kanye West. But I won't even get into that, so I digress. The whole point here is that people are really offended by what he said, but they don't quite understand the context in which he said it. Kanye West did clarify statements later, and I'll place information about that in the box, but I want to speak on it right now. I want to speak on what he actually meant, and I want to speak on the reaction he's gotten from people. First things first, I knew what he meant from the very beginning. Now, if you saw my video I did about Kanye West at SNL, I said I did not agree with what he said, but the reason why I don't agree is different than the reason all these people who are really upset at Kanye don't agree. First of all, I can agree on certain things and disagree on other things and not hate you as a person. You know, this is called people being different and having different points of view. The reason why I said you should not abolish it is because I agree with the clause in there that Kanye West does not. Let's read the amendment in question and then we'll break it down. Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude except as a punishment for crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction. Now, what does that mean? That means slavery has been abolished. That was back in the 1860s. But if you are a criminal, if you've been convicted, if you're in a penitentiary, jail or whatever, you can be a slave. That's why you got people working in there for $1 a day or something like that. It's because of the 13th Amendment. So I knew what Kanye West meant right away. He meant let's take out the part in there that says except as a result of being convicted of a crime. Let's have slavery be totally wiped away. But even a place like TMZ, which he's been so gracious to over the past few days, weeks, months, or whatever, they put out a headline talking about Kanye West wants to abolish 13th Amendment, which outlaws slavery. So people reading that, they think that Kanye West wants to bring slavery back because he wants to abolish a 13th Amendment, but that's not what it is. All right. Even a person like Ava DuVernay, who made a documentary about the amendment, which says that you can be a slave again in jail, spoke out against Kanye. You should be supporting the man. But I guess your political affiliation comes even beyond your own personal interests. OK, you should support him because his statement kind of, you know, validates your particular piece of artwork or whatever you want to call it, your documentary 13th. But we see how deranged and crazy liberals are. They'll be so far into their ideology, they'll miss things that will even help themselves. So I disagree with it because I think that the clause should be in there as a deterrent. If you don't want to be a slave again, don't sign up for it. Don't commit crime. Cry me a river. If you want to be out here slinging dope, beating up old ladies or whatever, and then you get sent to the penitentiary and you got to shovel horse manure or press license plates for $1 every 2 days, then so be it. That was your choice to get into a life of crime. Now, that doesn't mean I think everything up under the sun should be illegal. There should be some reform there. You shouldn't just be able to get locked up for just any old random thing, you know. But at the same time, if you're out here committing crime, harming people, harming yourself or whatever, making society more dangerous, and you get sent to the penitentiary, I think that clause in the 13th Amendment would be good to have in there to prevent you from recidivizing and prevent you from coming there in the first place. If I know that when I get sent to the penitentiary, not only will it be dangerous, but I'll be a slave again, maybe I won't commit crime. Maybe I try to figure out something else in my life. But aside from that particular comment, the rest of what he said was spot on. He was talking about bringing jobs back and bringing jobs to people that have been locked up. I don't see nothing wrong with that. If you've been locked up and you come out and you want to go right, there should be jobs available for you. Well, I think that's more of a skills gap, but that's a different story. I think you can attack that whole thing from the reform in the education system. If you got a kid that can't read when he's 8, 9, 10 years old, there's no point in pushing him through school because he's not going to really be able to succeed. Put him in some kind of vocational program where he can work with his hands. All right. You don't have to be a Rhodes Scholar to work on a vehicle. All you need to know is how to just manipulate certain things with your hands. Maybe you could be a brick mason, a carpenter, working on plumbing, HVAC, and these aren't professions that are just a poor man's thing. You can make plenty of money as a plumber, as a contractor, etc. So I think there should be some reform in education and also reform in the justice system, but abolishing the 13th Amendment or changing it, I don't think so. I think the Constitution is just fine the way it is, but there are other things you can do to improve society. And what Kanye West said on TMZ after the fact, I think he was leaving some kind of diner. He was like, I'm going to open up the conversation, and that's what he's done. So do you think that Kanye West was correct in saying we need to abolish the 13th Amendment, and then later on he said we should amend it? Should it be amended? Should it be abolished? Should it be kept the same? How do you feel about the education system? What should we do with that? How do you feel about the justice system? What should we do with that? Whatever your comments are, please let me know in the comments below.